Guys, I was really not expecting to be making this video. Paramount Plus has been on my radar. At the same time, I wasn't paying active attention to it because it's another streaming service down onto the bill. So again, what does Paramount really have that would really interest me? This is my thought process. But the other day, Paramount Plus really impressed me with not only their news of their streaming service in general and their whole revamp, but a particular story that they announced really caught my attention. You already know it if you look at the thumbnail of this video, but I'm actually gonna save that to the end, save the best for last. But that after I saw that news, it made me look at Paramount Plus in a whole new light. So I went back, looked at all the news, made these notes, and made this video because I was that impressed. And again, you already guessed what I'm so impressed by the thumbnail, but again, I'm gonna save it to the end because that's a whole story time. So, hey, and welcome to They Love. My name is Destiny. I am with They Love Streaming and Behind the Reel. They Love Streaming is where we talk about different streaming services, streaming TV shows and movies. And on our website is where we highlight different shows and movies, review them, just have a fun time. And Behind the Reel is where I like to highlight and talk about and review movies from Hollywood, talk about the business of Hollywood, because that also fascinates me. And if that fascinates you, I'll link both those websites down below. So as I said, I am here to break down Paramount Plus, go through all the announcements that Paramount Plus announced. And again, I'm saving what I'm most excited for towards the end, but I wanted to go through everything just so if you are not aware of Paramount Plus, or if you get underestimated like I did, maybe one of these will catch your attention and it will just be on your radar for the future. Even if you don't join Paramount Plus immediately, I think a lot of these projects that come out in the future will definitely grab my attention. So as I said, Paramount Plus is a revamp of CBS All Access, and it will actually replace CBS All Access on March 4th. It will cost $10 a month to stream ad-free, and I think they said sometime in June they'll launch another tier of Paramount Plus where you can stream it with ads, but for $5 a month. Honestly, anything with any streaming service, I just go ad-free. I just got into the spoiled mindset of never having ads, so I will just always pay to have it ad-free. Or I just think it's great when you can pay for something and there's no with ads option. I know Hulu was a big one where it was with ads and they actually added the ad-free, but most things, Disney Plus, HBO Max, I like that the what you pay is just no ads, no tier for ads, but maybe they'll add in the future, who knows. And another thing, even though Showtime actually is under the umbrella of Viacom, CBS, and Paramount, it will stay a separate service because that's how probably Showtime is just making them enough money to stay a separate service at this time. But if you do have Paramount Plus, there will be somewhere you can add it to your subscription. Now, if you don't know, the parent company of Paramount is Viacom CBS. And the brands under Viacom CBS are, of course, CBS, MTV, BET, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, and Paramount Network, plus any movies from Paramount Pictures, as well as Epix. So, and Paramount Plus will also include live news and sports content, and as they say, on-demand shows and movies. And it will be, I'm quoting for them, it will be a library of more than 30,000 episodes and 2,500 movies, plus 36 original series that will debut this year. And Paramount Plus will also launch with the delayed SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. I think this movie was actually released in Canada. I don't know where else it was released, but I know it was released at least in Canada, and America just has not gotten the SpongeBob movie, but that will be something that will premiere with Paramount Plus. So a few of these projects, I'm just gonna go through them, probably pop up some pictures, because some of these they just announced, some they have some information on, but the ones that again that make me the most excited and that I'm most interested in, we'll get to as I go through these. So they're going to do a Flashdance series. There's going to be a revival of BET's The Game. There will also be a new iteration of MTV's Behind the Music. And there will be 2 new Star Trek shows, Star Trek Strange New Worlds and the animated kids show Star Trek Prodigy. So if you're a Star Trek fan, do you already have CBS All Access and you'll just transfer over, or at least you'll still keep Paramount Plus once it becomes Paramount Plus? Because I know they already have 2 Star Trek shows, so now they're adding more Star Trek content. So I think this will definitely be the Star Trek world. While Disney has Star Wars, CBS has Star Trek. Now, something that caught my attention, I made this in my notes, but I didn't keep it towards the end, but I am interested, is that Criminal Minds is actually getting a reimagined series. I am a big Criminal Minds fan. I love criminal psychology, anything like that. So I had a whole, I think, summer where I just binged Criminal Minds. I may have not been good because it is a lot of heavy, subjects, but I love the cast. So that's how I kind of got into Criminal Minds and things like that. Like, I love Mindhunter. I like anything like that. So it's gonna get a new reimagined series with the cast returning, and what I really like about this announcement is that instead of a case per episode, it will actually be a case per season. So they'll really get to dig into, I guess, what they're investigating. So I actually really like the idea that each season will be a new case, but it's still the same cast coming back. Because again, I like Criminal Minds, I like the cast. So I think this is actually a great idea. I don't know when this is going to be happening, but I started as something that I would like. And along with the SpongeBob movie that's coming to Paramount Plus, there will also be a SpongeBob prequel series called Camp Coral. Along with that, there will be a Grease prequel about the Pink Ladies. That would be interesting. I actually hope they cast people that at least look like they should be in high school or close to high school age. That will at least be interesting. And there will be a reimagined love story, the classic love story, if you have heard of it. And there will be a Beavis and Butthead movie that is currently in the works. And another interesting thing is the way they're going to treat movies. So there will be original movies for the service, but also the theatrical movies. So original movie is the new Paranormal Activity movie that will release straight to Paramount Plus. And for theatrical movies, they did announce that Mission Impossible 7 and A Quiet Place Part 2 will release on Paramount Plus 45 days after they release in theaters. Usually the time that takes from movies in theaters to go to any kind of digital service or even PVOD or renting services and things like that, it usually takes about 75 days. But at the same time, this is not going to be for all Paramount movies. Like Top Gun Maverick is still going to get its classic, I think, 70-90 day run and then go to renting or things like that. And then another announcement is there's going to be CG animation update of Rugrats later this year, and the original voice cast is returning. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it looks interesting. It just, for me, maybe my brain is just stuck in that old animation, but I think it's a classic animation. If you don't know, I was born late 90s, so I'm not Gen Z. So I do have a lot of these old Nickelodeon shows. I mean, they don't seem old to me, but at the same time, it's like, wow, that actually was kind of long ago. But still, Rugrats, that was something I did watch. So it's interesting to see them, even though the voice cast is coming back. It's interesting to see it in CG animation instead of the classic drawn animation. But it's good that it's a good update. I don't want to be that kind of person who's like, oh, don't ruin my classic thing. I mean, I saw a little teaser. Just because it's different animation style doesn't mean they're ruining it. I'll give it a chance maybe, but again, it's probably just for families and kids, Rugrats for them. But at the same time, I do hope that they have the old Rugrats, the original Rugrats on the service as well. So, you can get both experiences and see what it was originally inspired by. And next we have a revival of Frasier. There will also be this is interesting. There will be a live action retelling of the Fairly Odd Parents, another show I watched. I swear my childhood was just split up between Disney and Nickelodeon. I know some people are like, oh, that was Disney Channel, oh, that's Nickelodeon. No, I think I just watched everything because I love Nickelodeon and I love Disney Channel. I couldn't choose which was my favorite. Even when it was weird. I feel like those are the debates we got into as kids. Like, oh, do you like Disney more, Nickelodeon more? I'm like, I don't know. I like both. I just watch what I watch. I think that's what most people should do. And another Nickelodeon property they're bringing back is Icarly. It will be a revival of the series that will release on Paramount Plus later this year. They also announced the reimagined Transformers series. It will be animated, and that's in the works for Nickelodeon. Now, the things that really caught my attention, other than the Criminal Minds reimagining that I mentioned before, is The Offer. It's a 10-episode miniseries about the making of The Godfather, which I absolutely love. I love the business of Hollywood. I love learning more about it, and I think they how they made The Godfather is very fascinating. And it's great that it's not a movie, but a 10-episode miniseries. I'm looking forward to that. And it's also been announced that the live-action Halo series that they were talking about for Showtime will actually premiere on Paramount Plus in early 2022. So I'm a bit skeptical on how the show will actually be, just because sometimes video game properties just don't click. I don't know what happens with them. They just don't survive. But Showtime does have some pretty good shows, and it was originally made kind of for Showtime feel. So I'm hoping that Halo is really, really good. If it is, that could be their kind of the Mandalorian or something like that. You know, I think each streaming service needs like their show. Like Amazon's probably The Boys, Disney Plus, Mandalorian. So hopefully they can get something like that with Halo. And now for the big news that really caught my attention. I think at the time I was about to eat dinner, I was actually going to get up, and I looked at my phone. I always get triggered for notifications because I follow like entertainment news and things like that. And I saw this news, and I think I just completely forgot what I was doing. I just lost my mind. I didn't even think it was real at the moment, because I'm like, there's no way we're just gonna get everything we want. And if you haven't guessed it again by the thumbnail, or is it, again because I haven't mentioned it yet, it's the fact that not only are the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender one of my all-time favorite shows, not my favorite childhood show, not just one of my favorite animated shows, I'm talking about one of my favorite shows in general. It's just so great. But the original creators are returning to make an animated theatrical film and set in that universe. And not only that, they announced Avatar Studios, which the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender will be co-creative directors of that studio. And they will make different series, animated series and movies based in, you know, the Avatar universe, both like Legend of Korra, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Basically what we've always wanted. If you are an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan, this is what you always wanted, because live action just tends to fail after the creators left the Netflix live action adaptation, because it just seemed that Netflix is going to be really disrespectful to Avatar and not respect kind of what I get. There's no problem with making changes, but you can't just make changes because like, oh yeah, that would seem cool. You still have to respect what you're adapting. Yeah, but I just really seen that Netflix was really not respecting the original creator's opinion and not taking that into account. I heard they even wanted to change Katara's age to be the older sibling, and she was 16, and then Sokka would be 14, and Aang would still be 12. And it just, some people, if you haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, you may think that's a small change, but that's a major change to all of the characters. It's just so bad. So not only the fact we're finally getting an animated film that will be set for theaters, but the fact that they're getting a whole Avatar Studios where they can create different series in the universe that they originally created is so awesome to me. And it's just a big, oh my god, it sends a clear signal to Netflix. I really don't know who at this point is even gonna watch that Avatar adaptation on Netflix unless you just haven't watched the animated series. But I don't know how they can even go forward. I will be tuning in to Paramount Plus to just watch Avatar Studios. Even if Paramount Plus doesn't have these other things I just listed, I will be tuning in for Avatar Studios. I'm so ecstatic. So comment down below and let me know what you think of Paramount Plus. Did you know any of these things already? Did any of these things interest you? Do you like Avatar: The Last Airbender? Do you like Halo? What are you into? What do you think about Paramount Plus? Or are you just like, you know, you don't want Paramount Plus, none of this convinced you? Just let me know down below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll see you guys later.